I love to sit back and talk a bit about this person. You might find his name just on top of the title up. But do you know that this guy is the person who will put the USA next president into the White House? If you saw the debate or the caucus in New Hampshire, Huckabee and Romney, they crush each other's skull talking about this person. His name is Sayyid Qutb, Marhum Sayyid Qutb, may God bless his soul. Born in 1906 in Egypt and murdered in 1966. Okay? By his lawyer. You know who is his lawyer? His lawyer is the uncle of Ayman Zawahiri. Ayman Zawahiri is the brain of Osama bin Laden. Everybody tagged this person to Osama bin Laden. They say, this is guy, he is the teacher of Osama bin Laden. He is the mentor of Osama bin Laden. No, he is not. He is a guy, a normal teacher, who the Albanian monarchy, who were running Egypt at that time, their puppet, Prime Minister Nakrashi, he distanced him, threw him in an island. So they threw him in a ship, a Yugoslavian ship, which is taking refugees, running away from Joseph Broz Tito to USA, and he instructed the ship or the US authorities to throw him in the Midwest. So he landed in a village called Greeley in Colorado, and there where he joined Colorado State College of Education. He stayed for 5 years there, from 1948 until 1952. Okay? He earned master's degree in auditing and in literature, in art. Ross Williams, the president of that university, has a picture with him I can show you in the end of the video. He came back to Egypt. When he came to Egypt in 1952. He was a jobless, he didn't find a job. So there was a group, a Muslim group called the Muslim Brotherhood, wanted to overthrow the government, overthrow this Albanian monarchy. So this officer used him as a cheerleader, or as an cheerleader or a coach or ambulance chaser, to gather the crowd of him. The guy, the top guy, the dictator who took the power, his name was Jamal Abdel Nasser. He's a patriot guy, but he was run by but he used to run the country through a proxy. The proxies, they were not happy about this guy, so they put him behind bar for 10 years. Okay? The moment, in those years, they were so scared from his brain because he brought a lot of civilization, a lot of knowledge from USA. I personally studied all his books. His books is about children books, just translation of the Midwest, the morals of the Midwest, the normal American villages. Okay, Islamizing that one. So he used to love jazz. He used to love this song, Baby, It Is Cold Outside. And he used to love the Midwest. His books who he wrote it against Egyptian regime and Muslims and all the infidels in the West. They just removed the word Egypt and replaced it by a thesaurus into the West. So everything called Egypt, it is, if you remove, put replace the word West instead of Egypt, then you will know who he's talking about. This is why he's murdered. If all his books, which everybody in hand reading, that he is demonizing the West, they will make him a king in Egypt. Why should they have to kill him? But because every word, if you read all his books and just replace the word West by Egypt and Western by Egyptian, and you will know why he is murdered. He was in prison for 10 years writing his books, tortured, and the books has been taken from him, the drafts, and printed in government printing press, and they used to switch the word Egypt to the West. Okay, so the Egyptian government created enemies against him. You know, if he says Egyptian are uncivilized, so when the book comes out from the prison to be published and to be distributed to his follower, they remove the word Egypt and they put West. So everybody thinks that he's against the West. Okay. And in 1964 exactly, the late president of Iraq has intervened that this person has to be relieved and let go. So Jamal Abdel Nasser relieved him. After, in 1966, when he came out, he tried to fix all his books which he authored, because he saw them, and all the books which he authored was demonized by the government, demonizing the prophets, demonizing the followers of the caliphs, demonizing Sayyidina Uthman, Caliph number 3, and creating this bloodthirsty regime, which he has nothing to do with it. So it was a big clash between him and between the people who were outside. So when he came out, his brother Muhammad Qutb was accused of destroying some forfeited factories of the British people, Halwan factories. So he was asking, why my brother in prison? It's just a question. Of course, he's maybe a renegade or anything, because he ended up, this Muhammad Qutb, he ended up in Saudi Arabia, and the end, he's the guy, the mentor. He is the guy who trained Ayman al-Zawahiri and trained Osama bin Laden. So the people, instead of executing his brother, they executed him. I mean, they just took the blame of him. So you can imagine in the biography of the Egyptian regime, they say, oh, he wrote a letter to the secret police. This is why they executed him. How? I am just asking why my brother in prison. That's it. That means the brother or the lawyer, which is Ayman al-Zawahiri's uncle, he's the guy who was playing for him as a lawyer, as his attorney, but as a matter of fact, no. He's the guy who put the rope on his neck, and he was murdered. Okay, I have 1 minute and I will just go through with my slides, if you don't mind. This is him, his pictures. Okay, it's 10 minutes I have. And this is a picture. I just wanted to show you his picture. This is some stamps are printed for the Iranian government on his honor. And this is the book, which he has nothing to do with it. He didn't type it. This book was typed without his permission by the Egyptian government. Okay, you can see it. The red things, these are the lines which he made it to show that he didn't do it. And this is his picture when he was in Colorado. Okay, sorry, I hate Arfan viewer. Okay, so I can show you here with his mentor. His mentor is Dr. I show you, his mentor is Dr. Dr. Wilson Rose, President of Colorado State College of Education in 1949. So you can see what kind of caliber this guy has. Take care.